haven't seen you for a while. It's good to have you back. On behalf of CyberLife, I wish you a very happy holidays. I hope Santa will bring you a CyberLife Android soon.
Sometimes when you turn on a particular video game and on a specific date, the game in question then might have the ability to reward us with a secret game to play, a fun entertaining moment, or a what the f wacky and crazy Easter egg, and might also appear as a result of the details we entered, because we positioned our characters at the right time and place, or because we activated a series of special triggers and on the right date, as this is Easter eggs that only appear on certain days of the year. Over the years, there have been many video game developers that have created jokes and Easter eggs to activate on April Fool's Day, and previously we looked at Resistance 3, where YouTubers spotting games found out in Chapter 5 that Grims would hurl gnomes at you, rather than the rocks they would use on every other day of the year. While in Minecraft, and back on the 1st of April in 2015, the developers released the Love and Hugs update, turning the world into one big love fest where you could no longer kill animals but rather only pet them instead. You received a love meter, some weapons were decorated with love hearts, bubbles turned to love hearts, and even clouds were sharing the love. But what about the enemies, particularly the creepers? Well, they would no longer kill you, but rather explode and provide you with a love heart instead. And if you happen to dig a hole and spawn over 105 creepers into it, and then swap the game from creative to survival mode, and then jump into all the creepers would deal you with so much love that you'd be whisked off to a secret game of Minesweeper, or in this case, Minescreeper.
You know what might look better on your nose?
What?
The bar.
Our next Easter egg takes us back to 1995 and to Tim Schafer's and LucasArts point-and-click adventure Full Throttle, where the game didn't require you to start it on a specific date to activate an Easter egg, but rather input one. You see, when you visit Malcolm Corley's Motors a little later on in the game, you'll need to input a code into Malcolm's floor safe, which is 154492, in order to gain access to an audio tape and a keycard. However, there was a second code you could input into the floor safe, and that went undiscovered for over 21 years and was only hinted about in early 2017 thanks to some audio commentary found in the remastered version of the game, and which turned out to be 12/14/62, and just so happens to be developer Mark Crowley's date of birth. And by inputting it into the floor safe, you are greeted with this Easter egg. Next up, we're exploring the Blood and Wine DLC for The Witcher 3, where quite a number of extra secrets were added to the game. From a talking roach thanks to a potion.
Still kinda strange. How you cross the ocean when I call sometimes, but then get hung up on the tiniest fence. What's that about?
What can I say? Everyone's got limits.
And to a developer picture that was discovered out of bounds. But one of the last Easter eggs and craziest of details that was added right at the end of the game's development in 2015 was only just discovered in the last few weeks thanks to this YouTuber, and which is related to Lady Vivian. You see, ever since her birth she has been cursed, but it was only during her 15th summer and upon a full moon it began to show, and where she turned into a bird. But now, an adult, even during the night and day, she is permanently like this and uses magic to mask her secret in fear she may be stalked and killed. It is also during these moments where we hear her backstory that the Witcher offers to try and reverse the curse, but warns in doing so it would come with these serious consequences.
Just to be sure, gonna ask one last time. Positive you want to do this? If we succeed, the changes will be irreversible. You'll probably also only have 7 years left to live, at the most.
7 years free of the fear that someone might spy me at the wrong moment? Of the stigma of being a freak, a monster? 7 years of a life both true and unfettered. Yes, Geld. I'm certain I wish to do it.
And with now only 7 years to live, here comes the Easter egg. As once you've completed the Blood and Wine DLC, you can find Vivian in Novigrad, who tells the Witcher of her travels, and now she is off to Skellige, where she ends up in the inn in Caer Troll the harbour. And if you happen to wait in the inn for 7 in-game years, or for over 2,500 days, which can be done quickly by using these console commands, then this will happen. Yeah, eventually Vivian will come into the inn and actually die right in front of us, although this scene was a little bugged.
Hail be praised! Greetings, Witcher.
And just like in our last Easter egg, this next secret also requires waiting a number of years for it to activate, but this time actually in real life, as back in early 2003 developers running with scissors released the utterly crazy and wacky Postal 2, and it was in the shopping mall that you could find this shop that was closed for renovation, and it stated that it was reopening in June 2016, and true to its word, that's exactly what happened. As on the 29th of June 2016, and some 13 years after the game's release, an update came and an Easter egg was finally revealed, and which included references to the Terminator 2. There's a nod to the HTC Vive. There's a rude reference to Steam and many references to different video games, including their own.
Yeah.
That'll be $10.
And there you go. Thank you.
Don't worry, Half-Life 3 is coming out real soon. How you doing, man? Welcome to Steam.
Hey,
Hello. Is this everything?
sure.
That'll be $10.
Let's see. That should cover it. Thanks.
Have a good trip home, but remember, don't buy Postal 3.
And even Back to the Future.
Well, I suppose that was worth the wait.
30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except for February alone.
Julian Gregory Day, also known as the Calendar Man, is a serial killer, a mass murderer, and a villain who timed and tied his murders thematically to certain holiday dates throughout the year. And if you happen to visit him in Batman Arkham City on those specific dates by altering the date on your console or PC, then the Calendar Man will reveal and share stories of what he got up to, and here are just a couple of my favourites.
Valentine's Day. Hearts and flowers. The perfect occasion to smother my new love with tokens of affection. I chose chose a dozen red roses, an assortment of truffles, and a darling little lacy thing. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to be so intimate. You might say I'd overdone it. And in truth, at that point, my love and I had not actually met. Ever the romantic, I followed her to her apartment. Loudly proclaiming my love, I drowned out her screams of protest. Sadly, it was not to be. So instead of smothering her with gifts, I simply smothered her. You know, I always feel a little lonesome in November. I think that's because even the worst of us enjoy a good old-fashioned family Thanksgiving. I know I did a few years back when I dropped in unannounced on Turkey Day. All those surprised faces around the table. Mom and Dad could hardly believe it. Mind you, I don't know whose mom and dad they were. I was on the run and needed a place to lay low. That family, whoever they were, could certainly cook. Stuffing and gravy and pumpkin pie to die for. Unfortunately, they did. Like I said, always feel lonesome in November.
Well, that's just about it from me for today, but if you have an Easter egg you recommend that I should check out, then definitely let me know about it in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all the latest secrets, Easter eggs and references in video games. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.
A special day for a special someone. You may have forgotten, but I haven't. Happy birthday.